So, being a man is already hard. Being a man in today's age is more difficult, and these are 10 things that you are doing to make your life worse, make your life completely damaging. And I'm not making this video to look down on you, I'm not making this video to scold you. I'm basically making this video because everything I'm about to tell you in this video is something that I myself have struggled with, and I've come to realize that the more I do the opposite of it, the easier my life looks like. So hopefully it works for you. And number one is with relationships, right? The one way you make your relationship harder is by getting your validations from women. So something happened today when I went for a swim. I was the first to get to the pool. After me were these two small boys. They felt like they were 7 or 8 years old. So they had the coach come with them. So they were swimming. And a second coach came in about 20 minutes later. Now he came in, the moment he walked in, one of the boys asked him, "Coach, have I gotten faster?" Mind you, this coach just stepped into the pool area. He has not been watching any of his kids. And he just softly said, "Oh yes, you've gotten faster." And the child was so happy. Then it made me realize that that is how most men think, right? They are never really happy about themselves. They're never really proud about themselves until a woman makes them feel proud. You feel like you're incomplete until a woman tells you, "Okay, good job. Now you are." And I remember this argument I had with a friend recently. It was not really a friend, it was somebody who I had the coaching call with, right? And then we had this argument. And the argument came from this. He brought up a quote that says, "You become a man when you don't make money because of women, you don't go to the gym because of women." I'm like, yeah, that's true. These things you do, they help you to level up, to build your own confidence, to build your own self-esteem. If you do them for women, guess what? When the women come and go, you're fucked. And that's how women manipulate men. If you do it for them, they understand that your actions have intentions behind it. And guess what? It's easy for them to control you. So what do you do in this case? Do them because you make money, because you are working towards a future or something that maybe you're making money because you want to have a family and you need to be able to provide for that family. You're not doing it because you want to attract so many women. And that kind of thought will lead you to spending money on women that don't even respect you. I tell you, brothers, that's a very big mistake. So go to the gym because it gives you what? Health benefits. Yes, I get that. The initial motivation for most guys, right? It could be me myself, it could be something shallow. It could be women that motivate you to start. But when you start doing things for yourself, there's a difference, there's a way you will carry yourself. There's a kind of level of confidence you will build where it doesn't come from how many women you can attract, but how much you are moving closer to your goal. Two, a second bad habit that I see, even as I too had this, a second bad habit that guys used to make their life harder is being afraid of rejection. Most especially women. Why I what most especially women is because most guys are even afraid to talk to other guys. So this is why we have an idea of what male loneliness, because you can have girls in your life, but if you don't have other men, you will feel lonely, right? Because women don't really relate to the problems of men. So let's talk about the problems around women. So, because problems of men, I'm coming to that very soon. But you see, the fear, the idea that you are afraid to talk to women because you are afraid of being rejected, it comes from, I don't really know where it comes from, but it just comes from the whole idea that if a woman rejects you, something is wrong somewhere. If a woman tells you no, your whole life crumbles. One thing I'll tell you for sure is, all that is in your head. Because I used to have that thought in my head that, what if she rejects me? What if she tells me no? One thing I came to realize is, having those thoughts in your head, literally speaking, it's keeping you stuck. Now, some people might say, "Oh, it's easy for me to talk to girls because I am tall." Let me tell you something. I've said this thing on my channel several times. When I was in university, it was almost impossible for me to quote approach any girl. I can tell you with confidence because over time, I began to understand that it's more about what's going on in my head and what is going on outside. Because the guys who had the most success with women were the shorter guys in university. They were the shorter, slimmer guys. These guys didn't even have muscles. So whenever people talk about the muscular guys getting the most girls, that is not really what I'm seeing in reality. So I kind of realized that it has a lot to do with what's happening in your head. And guess what? The remedy to this is not for you to go and watch 1,000 videos of women. It's for you to go out there, go to places where women want to meet people, and guess what? Approach them. Initially, you will get rejected. But one powerful thing I'll tell you is, every time you are rejected, figure out why you're rejected. Not by asking them, but sometimes your subconscious will tell you why you're being rejected, right? And the irony is, Recently, I got rejected again. When you set your goal to go out there and not be bothered about rejection, guess something interesting happens. At some point, that fear of rejection flies out the window. And I kid you not, set yourself a task of going to a place where women want to meet people, right? And setting a goal of approaching 5 women. Guess what? The thing here is most guys, including you're too afraid to start. I can tell you for a fact. And again, that's one thing I have noticed, right, is that I don't have any cheesy lines to approach women, right? Because one, I've noticed, again, these are things that you know from personal experience. I may say it to you, but if you don't have it using personal experience, it's fucked. When you approach women, act like you already know them. Don't try to impress them. These are my rules. Don't try to impress them. When you get to meet them, be yourself. Be present. Even if, again, I stammer sometimes. Even I can see myself stammering in this video. And if I go to meet them and I stammer, one thing for sure is I always maintain eye contact. That eye contact is very important because women can see through your eyes. So if you're stammering, right? If you're stammering and you're holding eye contact, trust me, that confidence is there. That confidence is there, right? So I'll tell you for a fact, if you're afraid of talking to women, if you're afraid of rejection, set yourself a goal to get rejected by women. Literally go out. You can do it at the gym, right? Gym is a safe place. People feel like the gym is too complex to talk to women because they are there to work out. See, bro, it's a very big fat lie. A lot of women that are there to meet men. A lot of women that are there, forget all, a lot of women that are there. The ones who are there not to meet men, you would know. A lot of the times, they are zoned out. They don't want to, they mostly seclude themselves. But the ones that want to be approached, you will know. So go out there, go to events that have ladies, again, rave parties. I haven't gone to parties, but I've kind of realized that. I've gone to a few parties recently, and a lot of the women there want to meet other men. Sometimes they go there alone with other girls. They might say it's a girls' night, but they want to meet other men. But the whole idea is, when you want to get rid of the fear of rejection, one thing you should start is, set yourself a goal. Go out there to places that women want to meet people. And you know what? Say, you know what? This event I'm going for, precisely parties, or it could be parties. I went for a date, and then in that date, the date was giving me attitude. So I joined the salsa class. Bro, I met a lot of women there. But because of that, you may never meet this person again, right? Go ahead and don't be afraid of being rejected. Recently, I was rejected, right? I said I must bring this story into this. So recently, I was rejected. But it's kind of like funny because I knew why I was rejected, but I still made the move even though I knew I was going to be rejected. So beginning of this year, if you watch my videos on this channel, one thing you would realize is I was looking unkempt, bushy hair, no carving my beard. That was because I was working on a modeling project that needed me to look as rough as possible. So there was this girl who I approached. Mind you, again, literally speaking, that particular day was, I was basically just on my chilled level, don't really give two fucks. I was in that element of looking rough. So I approached this girl and she said, ew, like ew, she felt irritated. She also wanted me to feel bad. But guess what? Because I'm already used to being, or I'm not really moved by, because I won't say I'm used to rejection. I'll say I'm not really moved by rejection anymore. I was like, okay, no problems, and I moved. The irony was that, long story short, a few weeks later, the project was done, right? It was the modeling shoot, and then I took off my hair and came back to like my normal self. Irony is, I saw her later. She stared at me. I'm not too sure she could remember I was the one, right? But let us be bygones. I don't really take the rejection to heart, right? I could approach her, but then again, that's her business. Two, three. How you as a man are making your life harder is you lack purpose. I tell people that as a man, your purpose is your literal reason for you being born. I say, right? Women are born with value because they bear life. Men, you have to create your value, and you create your value on your purpose, on your mission, right? On your drive. We see, one thing I see with men these days mostly, and it happened to me because we have all these distractions. It's easy for us to fall prey to cheap entertainment. So guess what? You entertain yourself today, tomorrow, and before you know it, 5 years is gone, 10 years is gone, and you feel empty inside, right? Because you lack purpose, you lack direction. But what I'll say is this: make it an intentional effort to find your purpose. Make it intentional. What that means is there are different ways to find your purpose, different systems, You can start by solving your own problems and helping other people solve their own problems. Hopefully, if you enjoy the process, you have found your purpose, right? So I've spoken extensively on finding your purpose. One thing that I said is that your purpose does not have to be this grand thing to save the entire world. No, it's about why are you born? Think about it. Why were you born? What makes you unique? That's your purpose. And trust me, that makes you very attractive. But again, you just need to cut out distractions. Be intentional about finding your purpose. Now, the third thing I see that a lot of men do to make their lives harder is not having a brotherhood. It's them being lonely. You see, loneliness is a problem that I tell you for a fact that a lot of men are suffering from right now. Now, loneliness and being alone are two completely different things. Two completely different things. Being alone is intentional. If you watch my vlogs, there are times where I'll tell you, at this period, I want to be alone. At this period, I don't want to talk to people. Sometimes I have to go to a different gym because I feel people at the gym, I know way too many of them, right? But the loneliness problem I see a lot is, for some reasons, our modern lifestyle has caused men not to come together. We don't have any area for men to meet men. I think we don't have any area where men go to, you go there to only meet men. But I tell you, those areas actually exist, right? Those areas exist. So how do you solve your loneliness problem? By making it intentional to not be lonely. It sounds cliche, but it's actually simple. I tell people that anytime somebody gives you a simple solution, that person is your friend. Because that person has nothing to sell to you, he genuinely wants to help you. So what makes it a simple solution, right? What makes it a clear, simple solution? Let's start with the fact that, start with where you can meet people, men to be precise. I always tell you that one thing you should form is a brotherhood. Because without a brotherhood, you can easily get lost. If you ever noticed, and a brotherhood makes you as a man very happy. Because guess what? Your brotherhood will easily call you out on your bullshit. Your brotherhood knows the pain you're struggling with. A lot of the times, a lot of guys take their pain to their girlfriends. But guess what? They might only listen to you, but they barely give you anything constructive. When you have a brotherhood who is happy for you, genuinely happy for you, right? Guess what? It's a game changer. They call you out on your bullshit, right? They motivate you. They, a lot of the times, offer solutions to your problems. That's a very deep shit. Very strong stuff. Again, a brotherhood, one thing I recommend is, at the gym, the amount of interesting guys I've seen, I met them at the gym. Because I've noticed why. Because people at the gym, men at the gym, sometimes, a lot of them are there because they take themselves serious. And a lot of people are there for different reasons in the gym. But some people at the gym are there to take themselves very, very serious. So again, meeting men in the gym is a very good option. Another place I know that is guaranteed to meet men, if you have watched my channel a lot, is go and learn how to fight. I've come to a realization that is one of the most, if I was to pick anything that any modern man should do, is learning how to fight. And that's a different topic for another day, because you have fears in your mind. What if I get hit? What if I get injured? Well, I said go and learn how to fight. Your irony is, at some point, there is no fighting school you will go to that they would pair you up with an expert who would hit you hard. No. They all start with baby steps. My first 6 months learning how to fight, not a single hit, not a single takedown. It's all been play, drills, defense. Now I'm beginning to get hit, but guess what? It is light hit. Because if you can hit somebody lightly, you can hit them hard. And guess what? It is more difficult to hit somebody lightly. It's more difficult. So the training is beginning to set in. And guess what? I've been meeting people, again, a lot of men bond through pain. A lot of men bond through pain, right? Because sometimes when I run into opportunities that I don't want for myself, it's easier for me to pass it across to a fellow fighter. And everybody who is learning how to fight, mostly men, everybody learning how to fight takes themselves very, very serious. Another thing you could be doing that is damaging, the fifth thing that you could be doing that is damaging or making your life harder as a man, is killing your masculinity. Bro, this is very dangerous because of the way we as men these days are being brought up. We're being brought up with the idea of being feminine, being soft, not understanding ourselves, being told to be weak. Almost all of the advice given to men today is to make them weak. So guess what? They even make you as a man feel guilty for just being a man. And to be very frank, this shit affected me like crazy. I came to realize that no, I was not made a man by accident. I was not made a man by mistake. I was made a man for a purpose. right? And again, I was born into a family of only men. That was to be intentional. So nature did not make a mistake by making me a man. Nature did not make a mistake by making you a man. So, bruv, level up, be ambitious, have drive, have goals, never feel guilty. If you have good intentions, if you look at it, think about it. The more we kill our masculinity, the higher the depression, the higher the anxiety, right? So, how do you gain back your masculinity? Start having drive, start having ambition, have good intentions. Because people forget that it's the men who work in the fire department. It's the men who work in the military, who work as policemen. And one thing I'm very grateful for is my father being present in my life. And growing up and realizing that most men and women that are fucked up these days do not have fathers in their lives. They may have mothers. And mothers are very important, quite alright. But guess what? When it is past survival age, the father is the one who trains kids. If you don't believe me, look at the statistics between kids who were raised by mothers and kids who were raised by fathers alone. The difference is very clear. The difference is very obvious. So again, your masculinity is very important. Never take it as a joke. The sixth thing that men do, or you could be doing to make your life more harder is regarding money. These next two things is regarding money. One, lack of discipline around your finances. We live in an addiction economy where companies are spending billions of dollars just to addict you, to make you miserable, to make your life more difficult. That is very intentional, right? Lack of discipline. They show you ads. People are spending billions of dollars to scientists on different levels, either with the way they show their ads, right? Even if you're somebody who is looking for ways to make your video go viral, you're also part of the problem. Social media companies are there to addict you. So guess what? All these distractions make it difficult for you to become disciplined. They make it very difficult. You see yourself buying things you don't need. You see yourself oversubscribing. You see yourself even finding it difficult to even learn a skill. Because whether you like it or not, you need discipline to get rid of poverty. You need discipline to sit down, learn a skill, dedicate hours to a skill every day, go extreme, and then give yourself financial freedom. It takes time. It takes discipline to get serious results. So guess what? When you lack discipline, you make your life harder as a man, right? You see yourself oversubscribing, overspending. It's the seventh thing. Am I number 7? The seventh thing you're probably doing to make your life more difficult regarding wealth is you're trying to impress people. Spending money you don't even have, sometimes taking loan to impress people. Guess what? These guys don't care about you. That shit gets to me a lot because, again, I have been through this, right? Women that don't even know you, you're trying to impress them. Men that don't know you, or men that are way ahead of you in their 30s and 40s, you're trying to impress them. You're trying to wear designers. But one thing that I've come to realize is the people that really have that inner security, they don't bother. They're just enjoying life. And guess what? You're the one competing with them. It's something that happened when I came across this concept of finite versus infinite games, right? And I began to see it from different ways. So there are people who play finite games where they believe that for them to win, somebody else must lose. So guess what? They are always in competition with somebody else, right? Infinite games is where you have a vision for yourself, not based off you looking better than somebody else, but just for yourself, right? So you're working towards a vision for yourself, knowing fully well that it's the right thing for you to do, while somebody else is competing with you. Isn't that madness? So again, if you see yourself not being able to, if you see yourself lacking discipline or trying to impress people, you need to stop it. You need to stop it. Again, not investing in yourself, right? You're trying to impress people and you forget to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself with the books you read, literally speaking, the weight you lift, the ideas you allow go into your head. I remember when I was supposed to travel like relocate completely. One thing that I kept on talking about, I was much more bothered about were my books. I was like, where will I keep my books? If they were soft copies, I mean, they're always in the cloud, but these are hard copies, right? And any book that I love, even though I've read the soft copy or the audio book, I always want to have the hard copy. And mind you, these are really not all my books. I have people who are coming here to steal my books a lot of the times, right? And again, I really don't have space in my bookshelf So I just like give out some books, and some books that I probably know that I don't need to read anymore. So again, invest in yourself. Stop trying to impress people, because the people you're trying to impress are not really impressed. You think you think it's really moving them. Most of the time, it's not moving them. So onto health. How are you destroying your health? Cheap dopamine. What that means is things like porn, social media, junk food. Bro, I've been there. Everything cheap dopamine, to the point where I think one day my earphones cut. Because my earphones cut, I could not listen to trash music. Bro, that was one day I had clear thoughts. I ran mad. Let me tell you how mad I ran. I mean, I ran mad is, that was the same month, because that same period I was running the family business. And when my earphones cut, I had to I was going home, I was in the public transport, headphones cut, I had to just pay attention to my work, my environment. Bro, by the time I got home, I had so much ideas that when I implemented them into the business, I kid you not, the business went close to 3 times what it was doing. Simply because I was able to sit down and just think. It became obvious to me that, bro, most people are rarely thinking, right? I've always known this, but when I cut out music, these days, even for me to work, I cut out social media. My phones are barely with me. But I've forgotten my phones in my friend's house several times because of this attitude. And this is not me bragging to you. This is me telling you that all this cheap dopamine we're chasing is destroying you. Porn is affecting the way you see women, damaging relationships. Social media is damaging your image, making you compare yourself to other people. Again, that's even a bad habit you're doing to yourself, comparing yourself to other people, wrecking your own happiness, which I'll get to later in this video. The junk food you're doing is damaging what? Your physical health. The trashy music you're listening to, is controlling your thoughts. Because most of the things I'll be listening to are mostly sex, drugs, violence. And those shit sell like mad. I remember when I was listening to Juice WRLD, brother is singing about depression, and I'm listening to him, right? Singing about how sad he is, and I'm listening to him. Again, this guy was basically expressing how bad he felt, but to us, it was entertainment. Is it really entertainment, or are we really going through a lot? Mentally, spiritually, physically, and yet we target as well entertainment. Another way you're making your health more difficult is neglecting your health completely, your physical and mental health, right? Precisely regarding the topic of low testosterone, it's crazy that we have so much lifestyle changes that low testosterone has become the new norm. Scientists, I'm getting to scientists because I suffered a lot with misinformation, right? Relying on the wrong source of information to get my news, and this shit haunted me badly. So as a man, what should you do? Fix your diet, eat clean. It's so crazy these days that the day you tell people you want to eat clean, they call it a diet. Do you know how crazy it is? So look at how much misinformation is there by companies, where the moment you choose to eat healthy, they say you're on a diet. Bro, it's crazy, right? It's actually crazy. Then again, lack of physical activities, lack of the gym. Now, I use the word physical activities because in my vlog these days, right, I'm back to swimming, professional strokes. I'm now learning mixed martial arts, and I've come to realize that lifting heavy weights doesn't really mean jack shit. Imagine you can bench press 100 kg, and somebody who is 75 kg can knock you out so fast, can beat the living shit out of you. Apart from that, I come to realize that, well, due to lifting weights, there are a lot of body movements I can't make, or I'm finding it difficult to make. So these days I'm like, heck, have some form of physical activities that push your body, that extend your body. It could be running, it could be lifting weights. But again, I recommend fighting because, bro, after passing through about 8 months of learning how to fight, one thing I'll tell you is, it's been one of the most life-changing stuff. And looking at Hamza too made the same statement that, bro, ever since he went to learn how to fight, again, Hamza had a fight recently, some months ago, and he basically said it drastically improved his discipline. And the 10th and the last habit that men do, or you are doing to make your life worse, is comparing yourself to other people, mostly on social media. This is crazy, right? One thing I've come to realize is because I'm grateful to have been born in a very comfortable class where I want access to rich people, I want access to poor people. And one thing I'll tell you for a fact is, I'm not here to tell you money is bad or something. No, money is very good. But sometimes the people you're comparing yourself to, they have struggles that you would not wish you had, for a fact. Some rich people still have insecurities. Poor people have insecurities. The person you're comparing yourself to has problems you don't know. The person you're comparing yourself to on social media is sometimes some of these guys, a lot of them are pulling scams you don't know. And this is the way I see young men get into fraud these days is very alarming. Looking for quick ways to get rich. Again, we have lost masculinity, so things like virtues like patience are no longer there. They are not really there. So what's there? Quick cash, quick money, quick hits, dopamine hits. Everybody has this idea of instant gratification. Did I mention that all along? I don't think so. Instant gratification, comparing yourself to other people is one, make you feel less than, right? Inferiority complex, which by the way I think I should talk about sometime very soon because I suffered with that for some time, right? You begin to feel like the only way you can feel good about yourself is if you are better than other people. Again, finite thinking, shallow thinking, always wanting to be better than somebody else, never wanting to have your own path to yourself. So what should you do? Carve a path for yourself. Have a vision you're working towards, and you're working towards it because it's giving you joy, not because of it will make you better than somebody else. Have a vision you're moving towards. Have something you're driving towards. Like I've said, I'm not going to lie to you. When you go at first, the things that when you start taking care of yourself, advancing in life, some things, some shallow vanity motivation might be a strong motivation. But guess what? To move far, to get to enjoy the essence at some point, it will be you just do things for yourself, by yourself, where you don't need validation from women, you don't need validation from society. You go to the gym because you enjoy the process, not because of, you know those things like women, attraction, attention, those things are side benefits, right? They are byproducts, but that's not why you are there. As you have a strong why for being in the gym, you have a strong why for doing everything, and you do them for yourself. Learning how to fight again for myself because it has increased my confidence, my discipline, my drive, my philosophy on life. Again, making me humble, right? That sounds proud. But but remembering that there's always somebody better than you. And if somebody is looking for your trouble on the road, it's easier for you to avoid the fight. And you don't mind crushing your ego. So my name is Lonore. All of my videos are basically out there to help young men help you as a young man become a better version of yourself. Now, I don't know how long this video is, but all I know is that if you share it with another man, guess what? We have one less man doing something stupid. We have one man less. It's basically English. Just share this video with as many people as possible because such kind of actions will make me realize that I'm helping much more younger men out there. And it's helped the algorithms push this video. We can get more men, right, to join the brotherhood, more men to feel less miserable, more men being on their grind, being intentional about life. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon and share this video.